Here are 5 lessons I learned from Matriarch. 1. You got to be willing to ask for help. One of the things that stood out to me was Miss Tina noticing that Beyonce was becoming a little celebrity and it was kind of impacting her relationship with her sister. She could have had a conversation with them, brushed it under the rug, said it's going to change later, but instead she took them to therapy. 2. Community is so important. I love seeing how much she relied on community, but also she provided community. Starting with seeing how she allowed her niece and her daughter to move in with her, but also how she moved in with her sister, or how she took in Kelly. I have to say, I related to that moment when she talked about Beyonce feeling some type of way about Kelly calling her dad, because I have been the same way. So I really appreciated that vulnerable moment because, one, it showed it's just kind of a human experience that we can have at times. But 2, moving past that makes her experience much richer. Or her recognizing, again, tying into the first thing, that she needed help in asking Uncle Johnny to move in with her. It kind of feels like community has not been as much of a factor as it was when I was growing up. So seeing this was just a good reminder that community is very important and necessary for our livelihoods. We are better together. 3, be a girl's girl. One of my favorite parts of this book was seeing Miss Tina talk about how she moved as a businesswoman and seeing how she really elevated her staff, being in an environment where no gossip was allowed. Hearing her talk about how she would fire people for gossip, like, girl, I stand. It also helps you understand more about her daughters. They seem like they move with a lot of grace and not a lot of drama, and I respect that. Not to mention her encouraging her employees to continue their education and celebrating with them when they moved beyond her. 4, the Black experience in surrounding your kids with things that celebrate their Blackness. Y'all remember when SNL did that skit?
I think Beyonce is Black.
The day Beyonce turned Black.
Miss Tina was telling us, girl, she'd been Black way before that skit existed. Reading the things that she put around her girls meant so much to me because I feel like that's how I was raised. I always saw Black art in my house. If I had a doll, it was a Black doll. To the neighborhoods that they lived in, the education that they received, and her ensuring that even if they were in an environment where the person teaching them did not look like them, they knew that they could command that respect. The things that you put around your house are the things that your kids are seeing on a daily basis. And I really feel like that's what's kind of cemented into them as they grow up. At least those are the things I think about in my adulthood. But let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if you guys have a different experience. The last thing I'm going to call out wasn't a major point in the book, but I do think it's something that deserves reflection. 5 is respect for elders. I love the part of the book where she talks about being with her husband's mom and someone calling her in that moment, and her mother-in-law basically saying, I'm going to hang up the phone so you can call me back and put some respect on my name.
I wanted to ask Maya her views on interracial relationships.
Oh, thank you. And first, I'm Miss Angelo.
Miss Angelo.
Yes, ma'am. I'm not Maya. I'm 62 years old. I have lived so long and tried so hard that a young woman like you or any other you have no license to come up to me and call me by my first name.
Excuse me.
That's first. That's first.
The way that I was raised, and I think the way a lot of us were raised, we did put respect on people's names. We called them Mr. and Miss or ma'am and sir. I know that there are people that have issues with that because they feel like the reason that we're raised to do that is rooted in racism. But is there also just an element of respecting your elders outside of it having racist roots where we were forced to call people ma'am and sir? Because I think it's something that we should be doing and teaching our kids to do. To be fair, I was raised in the South. I've never had an issue doing that. That's a lost art that I'm not seeing anymore that I would love to see spin the block. Have you read Matriarch? What did you think? Let me know in the comments.